Well, we're fishing for pre-spawn and spawning bass, largemouth, smallmouth, and the stripers are in the Upper Bay River. We're here at Havre de Grace. This is the launching ramp. Take the exit right off 95 and launch here. There's a $5 launching ramp fee. And we're going to run out here past the marina and then make a left and go up under the railroad bridges and the 95 bridges. That's where we're going to start today, fishing for pre-spawn and spawn bass. Here with Chuck Warren and Kurt Von Brandt. This is S&K Guide Service. We'll see you up there above the 95 bridge.
Starting out first thing in the morning here, up in Havre de Grace on the upper Chesapeake Bay. We're out on the Susquehanna Flats. It's towards the last week of April. We're targeting pre-spawn bass. May even have a few waves beginning to go in and actually make the beds, and we're also mixed in with all that. We have some stripers up here. It's the main spawning area for the stripers on the Chesapeake Bay estuary. A little bit of all those mixed in today. We're going to throw spinner baits, crankbaits. And then if we have to, we'll flip some plastics and some jigs into some wood structure like docks, laydowns. Started out first thing in the morning here on a riprap wall right out in the middle of the bay. Sometimes we catch some largemouth here, but we also get some striper action out here as well. See you in a few minutes. The sun's just coming up. Coming off of a low tide. Low tide was just before sunlight this morning. Today we have a high tide at 11:58 a.m. Basically, you can say noon at Havre de Grace, which is the general area which we're fishing. It'll adjust a few minutes here and there around. So we're going to be fishing an incoming tide today. I'd prefer an outgoing tide, but an ingoing, anytime the tide's moving, you still should be able to catch fish. Anytime you have some tide moving. Traditionally, the last 2 hours of the outgoing tide and the first hour or two of the incoming tide, which we should be right on here in the next hour, is when you tend to catch the most fish. And that's simply because the water's down, so some of the structure that's in at the shore, the fish have to pull off of and makes them, very easy to target. They're going to be on the ends of the laydowns, on the end of the riprap point, on the ledge where the grass line is. That's the main reason. I do believe they feed because of that also, because that makes the bait easier for them to catch. But that's mainly the main reason. It's not so much that they prefer that tide, it's just it makes their food easier to catch, which in turn makes them easier to catch for us because there's not as much cover that they're going to be in. So we're kind of working the same way on the bass that the bass are working on the bait fish. They prefer that lower water where the tide's moving because the bait fish have to pull out all the grass and out all the shoreline structure off to the ends to where it's a little deeper, making them easy to target. They pack them all in, and then we're targeting the bass there because then we don't have to target the entire shoreline. We know just to target the deeper trees. Unexploded, ordnance all the time. This is the entrance, the whole place. One of them. The bush isn't even like 5 minutes around the corner.
Now this is a good area, so good that the guys come from the proving grounds and actually fish this from the shore at their lunch hour.
A little further here until we get in the hottest area, and then we'll slow down. See that rocks that come out into the water and shit? See the
Stop.
bottom here? Whoa. Look what the bottom is here. Look down.
Yep.
That's the type of thing why you don't want to go running out here. You think you're in, you just run into that. Not cool.
Well, that's why it's important to have a guide if you've never been here. Is that right?
That is correct. A lot of obstacles out here. Besides the whole part of catching fish, which can be tough at times. You've got a lot of things you can run your boat into and ruin, and then the waves come up and you do a lot of smashing. It's hard on your equipment. So you're better off paying us and let us beat up our stuff and put you on fish, and then you can come back, you'll know where you're going, then you can bring your boat and you won't beat it up as much. There you go. Anytime out here they can hit.
Decent. Nice fish, Chuck. That's how you win a tournament.
You got a guy watching you up here.
Very
Throw it
nice.
back. Let him see you throw that back.
Nice little fish.
He waited to make sure you let it go. I'm serious. That's what they do.
Caught him on a Terminator spinnerbait, tandem.
Is that white and chartreuse?
Nah, it's
Golden shiner.
Golden shiner.
Very hot color.
It's just slow rolling it on the bottom.
Anytime now you can expect more of them. Right in this area. That's where it said, right around here. Keep going.
This is the Susquehanna Flats, right outside of Swan Creek.
See if we can get some females in here.
Okay, we're running.
This is how you know you're in this spot. Look up to the power lines there. They have those there so that helicopters or any low-flying planes that are coming over the proving ground don't hit the power lines. That's a perfect way to mark where we're catching these bass. When this tide starts to turn and come in a little bit, they ought to start to hit pretty good.
That tide is very important, isn't it?
As long as it's moving. There's always better times, but you're better off with it moving than it not. The harder it pulls, the better you can catch some fish. That's why I seek out areas that have a lot of current. Some guys try to get in calmer areas. A lot of times I'll seek out the areas that have the hardest current, because even if there's not as many fish there, I know that they'll strike. So it'll be